didn't develop it alone as a service. We developed it jointly. All the agencies, law enforcement, human rights agencies, technical partners in terms of migration management, supported by EU funding for migration, implemented by international migration. So if you look at this document, it's a document that is based on security concern. A safe border is a safe nation. So it has addressed the issue of international security. It has equally addressed border as a means of trade. So we should not look at this border as a security zone, but also as a means of trade. How will it be done? It has to be done with transparency. So we reduce corruption, reduce contact with individuals, we ensure that human rights are respected. We make sure that traffickers and smugglers are not allowed to be into our country. That's why it's a strategic document which has been presented today. And I assure you, since it's developed together with partners, implementation will be very easy.
With these what makes it different from
what makes it different that there was no organized way of border management or NIS, but now there's a document with timeline and achievable objective. Let me give you one. One of the objective timeline set is to ensure that all our borders crossing are done by biometric. Now we enter our country and leave just by scanning passport. One of the objectives is to make sure that once you want to enter Nigeria or leave Nigeria, we have to take the biometric, like the way others take. It's a set objective. Luckily, we have already started this. We have finished installing machines in Kano Airport, Malamini Airport. Installation is going on in all the airports, which means anybody who enter or leave Nigeria will have his biometric data, will have his photograph taken, which we are not doing before. So you can see it came out from the strategy. The other strategy is to develop capacity of officers so that officers can be able to respect human rights, gender equality. We must make sure every border has a woman. It is duty for a woman to be a woman. So we have a set of objective, timeline, fix, which will be monitored. That's the difference.
Okay, sir. Before the issue of porosity of the border how is this new strategy that is going to address that?
It has touched about use of technology. I'm glad to say that even if you employ 10,000 Nigerians to be immigration officers today, you cannot solve the problem. Even though we need some manpower increase, but we need to deploy modern technology. The border strategy has touched this deployment of technology, not only in the patrol, but also in capture. If you have a system where you can be able to know, have advanced passenger information, where you can be able to analyze data, where you can be able to know that the document presented matched together with the person who's presenting in front of you, I think it makes a lot of difference.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
House Committee Chairman of Interior, Nasir Zango Daura, assured that the House Committee would ensure that the NIS is given the necessary support to enhance smooth implementation of the border and migration management policy. In the same vein, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, emphasized that the effective implementation of the strategy depends on dynamic institutional framework and robust political backing. International Organization for Migration and Border Management supports member states on the improvement of the policy, legislation, operational systems, human resources, and administrative and technical structures required to respond more effectively to diverse migration and border management challenges. Migration and border management activities are in line with IOM's commitment to facilitate orderly, safe, and regular migration and mobility.
The responsibilities of these directorates are very, very enormous because it is like the engine room of the whole functions of immigration service. Migration directorates. Everything we're talking about as far as immigration is concerned is migration. All the facilities we're issuing is all about trying to encourage migration. So that is why the President Comptroller General in the person of Mohammed Bamande MFR worked seriously hard to create this directorate. In fact, it is to his credit that this migration directorate came into being. Migration is generally divided into two: regular and irregular migration. From the onset, from the beginning of the world, people migrate, people move from one place to the other. And we discovered that we have to come up with platforms, strategies to make sure that people have seamless migration, which is what everybody is preaching today. So one of the major functions is to control people, which is also in accordance with our Immigration Section 2 of the Immigration Act vis-a-vis our powers and functions, to control people coming in and going out of the country. Largely, the directorate is divided into two: regular and irregular migration. Under regular migration, we have migration management. We have bilateral and multilateral. Under irregular migration, we have anti-human trafficking and child labor. We have refugee and asylum. And generally, this directorate design policies, as migration directorate, that guide operations of the entire service, of the entire immigration duties. A typical example is the current migrant e-registration that was designed by the service through this directorate to register all foreigners in the country, whether you are regular or irregular. And it is in line with the act that specified the divisions, regular and irregular, that we decided to come up with this migrant e-registration to make sure that we carry everybody along as far as you are living in Nigeria, irrespective of your status. All these facilities issue are geared toward encouraging migration. And that's why the directorate is very cardinal in all our operations. Even the passports that are being issued to Nigerians, we make sure that those things are being issued in accordance with laid down principles. Okay? And that was why the Comptroller General, in his wisdom, created it. We monitor what others are doing. Anything we are doing that is not encouraging migration, we try to discourage it. Okay? Recently, MIDAS from this directive was installed at all our strategic entry points, airports, and it is enhancing security there, and it is also part of migration management duties. We interface with IOM, UN, German organization, Switzerland, to make sure that the entire migration trajectory is in line with international best practice.
Attention, please.
Attention, s'il vous plaît.
Dear migrants, do you wish to stay in Nigeria for more than 90 days for work, doing your business, and living freely? Well, we can make that possible. In a bid to making you even more comfortable, the federal government of Nigeria has directed that a non-Nigerian citizen must present self to the Nigerian Immigration Service for registration after 90 days of entry.
Chers migrants, souhaiteriez-vous pour rester au Nigeria plus de 82 jours pour le travail, des affaires ou résidant librement, même d'une manière plus confortable? Le gouvernement fédéral du Nigeria a statué que les non-citoyens doivent se présenter pour l'enregistrement auprès du service d'immigration du Nigeria après 82 jours sur le sol nigérien.
Chogo, Joshitian, Gonto, Shani, Juchu, Miente, Yodian Rangmi, Ganshufu nirilia liamban chamfu yijishi. Rujin Joshie Tianho Pe nirilia gonmin vishu. Shen nirilia ju. On Fiji Dafu.
The federal government of Nigeria is committed to making your stay a memorable one.
Le gouvernement du Nigeria est engagé pour votre séjour mémorable.
Nirilia liamban chamfu. Chiwaninda Dohu Nawa.
Welcome to Nigeria.
Bienvenue au Nigeria.
Migrants e-registration. Biometric solution.
We hope that you have been more enlightened on migration and border management policy of the Nigeria Immigration Service. For your questions, reactions, and feedback on this program, join us on these social media platforms: www.immigration.gov.ng, or send your emails to nis.pro@immigration.gov.ng. Our Twitter handle is Twitter@NIG-Immigration. That's our package on Immigration Half Hour today. Thank you for watching. Keep a date with us next week, same time, same channel. I am Victoria Omari Obeka. Until then, it's goodbye.
Hello, it's a warm welcome to Sports Radio, reaching you live on the network service of the Nigerian.